Mare is done for the day, and Daniel Suarez's Wendy's Chevrolet is now being pushed behind the wall by his crew. So those two drivers have an early exit out of the United Rentals 300. So 24 laps are complete. There are 6 laps to go in stage number 1. It's Jesse Love, the leader, Austin Hill, Parker Kligerman, Justin Allgaier, and Anthony Alfredo, current top 5.
SVG.
John Hunter Nemechek, Sammy Smith, Sheldon Creed, Jeb Burton, and Ryan Truex round out your top 10. Pit road has remained closed. We'll see if it gets open this time by. I don't expect, even if it is open, too many drivers to make pit stops, but you never know.
Series title at just 16 years old, and he was winning races and had a big breakout year, and certainly had a great outstanding performance. Very well tied with both John Bickford and Jeff Gordon. His dad grew up with John Bickford, who was very close obviously to Jeff Gordon in his career, and had the opportunity to lean on Jeff Gordon as he was coming up through the ranks. And he has certainly put that experience and knowledge to test here with a great showing here in the opening stage of his Xfinity Series career, driving that number 2 car for Richard Childress Racing. Jesse Love out in front, a very young and confident young driver leading the way here today in Daytona.
We've talked about the success that Austin Hill has had here at Daytona in the Xfinity Series as of late. Parker Kligerman right now runs 3rd. He is looking for his first Xfinity Series win. He had his best finish of 2nd at Road America and the Texas Motor Speedway last year in 2023. Right now, Parker again is solidly inside of the top 5. What about Justin Allgaier, though, Joe? The driver that won the last time we were here at Daytona in August. He won in a photo finish, but those junior motorsports cars always are tough whenever we come here to Daytona.
They really are. 4 wins last season for the driver of car number 7, Justin Allgaier, one of the most popular drivers in the NASCAR Xfinity Series garage, and a veteran of the series. They have done a lot of work behind the scenes with that team in the offseason to get better prepared going to the racetrack, making sure that they peak at the right time of the race, peak at the right time of the season. And so far having a pretty good run, still very early on in this 300-mile event, but running in the 4th position from Riverton, Illinois, Justin Allgaier, car number 7, a series veteran who is trying to go back-to-back with victories when you go back to August of last year when he was victorious here at Daytona, and to start off the 2024 campaign in Mobil 1 Victory Lane.
Pit road is open this time, so we will see if anyone would choose to pit.
We'll start with Jason Toy.
Sammy Smith is going to hit his mark right here. They're going to go to work on the right side. 4 tires, Sunoco fuel. Jesse Rich going in. Cole Custer further up. Also further back, Jordan Anderson along with Sage Carroll making their stops for the first time here tonight at Daytona. How about C-Post?
Brandon Jones is in, going to be 4 tires, Sunoco Racing fuel. Justin Allgaier the first down and away of
You did really bad.
On the racetrack.
You did really bad in fantasy.
And getting pit service as well.
You did really bad in fantasy.
Is in. AJ Allmendinger getting pit service to these stops here. Lap number 26. And I think you guys are right. The drivers toward the back of the field looking to flip the script, if you will, and get themselves set up for stage number 2.
4 laps to go in stage number 1. Jesse Love still the race leader.
So the majority of the teams came down pit road and chose to get some pit service under this first caution flag. However, some teams did not, namely Sheldon Creed, who was the race leader. He stayed out. Justin Allgaier and Austin Hill, they all remained on the racetrack. So we will see how this will shake out as we get ready for this upcoming restart.
Well, the reason for that is that championship points are awarded at the end of the stage. We're only a couple of laps away, and when you get toward the end of the season, yes, it is only the first race of the year. We're only 26 laps in to the first race of the year. Those championship points do add up, so there's a strategy
Nobody
to go
did
after
great.
those stage points, 10 points awarded to the winner, or whether or not you want to play the longer game. If you're outside the top 10, you come down, get fuel, get service, and make those adjustments so that way it'll cycle back around, and eventually you will be the cars up front. So it'll be a little bit of a risk and reward here. The cars that stayed out will have to come down pit road when the stage break takes place, but they will be able to capture some of those points should they be able to stay out front once we get back under the green flag.
That is Joe Cost. My name is Tim Califano up here in the NASCAR Public Address booth. This is also, Joe, going to set up a crazy sprint to the end of stage number 1, and we talked about during the Daytona 500 earlier today the fact that stage points are very valuable even at the first race of the year, because we know how valuable those points are over the course of the regular season.
Being laid down up in the upper groove of the racetrack there in turn 1 and 2. But the flag stand is displaying the 1 to go signal. Those wheel and engineering lights have gone out around this Daytona International Speedway. The lights atop the pace car are out, giving us the indication that the green flag is coming up. You see the teams have to choose that V with the orange square in the middle of it on the front straightaway. They can decide whether or not they want to start on the inside or the outside lane of the restart as the field rolls down through turns 1 and 2 in double file formation. So doubled up here, the two Richard Childress Racing Chevrolets on the front row. And nobody go out on NASCAR TV with celebration and Motor Inn Victory Lane continues on. More photographs being taken for the latest and most recent Daytona 500 champion, William Byron, who's seen it on the trophy, which he won earlier today. What an outstanding moment for Hendrick Motorsports, for Chevrolet, and that entire group. 10 years from when they last won the Daytona 500 with Dale Earnhardt Jr., and 40 years to the day of the start of Hendrick Motorsports with their first appearance. They had a lot of the legends that were part of Hendrick Motorsports down in Victory Lane. Jeff Bodine, who were in the first victory for Hendrick Motorsports back in 1984 as part of their Ruby celebration. He was in Victory Lane. Jimmy Johnson, although not with Hendrick now, teamed up with them. He went down there to offer congratulations, and of course, Jeff Gordon. The big celebration continues in Daytona 500 Victory Lane. We turn our attention to the NASCAR Xfinity Series as they are on the back straightaway. The caution is redisplayed around the speedway, and they will wave off the restart.
Yeah, as we mentioned, there is an extensive amount of work going on over there in turn number 1. They have put a couple more safety trucks over there. They're working on the high groove, which is right where Sammy Smith hit the outside wall. So cleanup continuing over there. Let's hear from one of the drivers that was involved in that accident, Daniel Suarez.
Daniel Suarez has been released from the care center. Walk us through what happened in that incident.
Yeah, I mean, they were checking up in front of me, and I checked up as well, and it's a chain reaction, you know. I mean, I don't know if the guy behind me has to be a little more heads up or what the deal, but it's hard because at some point in the chain reaction, somebody's gonna hit a little bit. But it's important, you know.
In that crash on lap 22, the 1 to go signal has been given once again. Lights are out on top of the Toyota Supra Pace vehicle. We're going racing next time. Over there in turn number 4, it's going to be a one-lap dash to end stage number 1 in the United Rentals 300.
Bottom of the racetrack, Jesse Love on the outside lane. Next in line on the bottom is Anthony Alfredo. Top side, Parker Kligerman. A 3 wide line starting way back.
Austin Hill leads the way, bottom lane out of turn number 2. Points paying window is open. Who's going to get there first? They're side by side for the lead. Here comes Jesse Love. Parker Kligerman just shoves him up the end of the back straightaway.
And that's all Love needed to go to the point for now. He's trying to get down in front of his teammate.
The stage second. Parker Kligerman will be third. Anthony Alfredo is fourth. Jeff Burton will be fifth, and Sheldon Creed is sixth. John Hunter Nemechek is seventh. AJ Allmendinger eighth. Justin Allgaier ninth, and Ryan Truex was 10th.
And that's a look at the top 10 in stage number 1, presented by Powerball. Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR, wants to make you a millionaire in victory lane. Head to Powerball.com to find out how you can enter the NASCAR Powerball Playoff.
So it's Jesse Love, the 19-year-old from Menlo Park, California, the pole sitter who wins the first stage in the United Rentals 300 tonight at the World Center of Racing by just literally a few inches over his teammate, Austin Hill.
To the completion of stage 1. Let's hear from one of the drivers involved in the incident. Sam Mayer is back outside the Care Center.
Sam Mayer just released a hard hit for you. Are you okay? And what happened?
Yeah, that was definitely the hardest hit I've ever had in my life. The first time I've ever had the wind legitimately knocked out of me. Crazy feeling. But these cars are safe. Everyone at JRM Fabrication did a good job keeping me safe, so props to them and everyone at Hendrick Motorsports and Junior Motorsports. This Carolina Carport Chevrolet was good. We were able to make a lot of really good moves and kind of hold our own, but it seems like a lot of people out there couldn't make up their mind on what they wanted to do. We ended up just running the wall for a little bit, but everyone was just trying to make something happen. I was just trying to learn out there. I mean, I know the car is as fast as Xfinity 10G, but not fast enough on my own, so we were trying to make things happen out there, and obviously I can't even say what I saw because I don't know if it's right or not, but all I saw was white. So it's definitely a rough one to start off the year, but I'm pretty much in the same spot I was last year, and we were in the Champ 4 at the end of the year, so looking forward to getting to Atlanta and the rest of the season rolling.
That's Sam Mayer. Glad to see he's okay after that hard hit.
Yeah, unfortunately, a disappointing end to Sam Mayer's night. He won 4 races last year in 2023, finished 3rd in points at the end of the year. He still had a very successful 2023 season.
Second halves of any driver in 2023, and that's what led him to the championship 4 in Phoenix. just 1 year ago. We continue to work under the stage break caution here, 32 laps in to the 120 lap distance of tonight's United Rentals 300. So many different faces and different places here to start the 2024 season. We've talked a little bit about the 2-car and Jesse Love and the new driver of that machine, but there were not many teams that didn't have some change, whether it was a new driver in a new car, possibly new crew chief back behind the wall, but a majority of these teams have made pretty significant changes in the offseason. And so it's interesting to see, at least in the early stages, which of those teams have risen to the top with the new personnel changes at the beginning of the season. And really no surprise, Richard Childress Racing has just been oh so strong here over the years at Daytona that their 2 Chevrolets have been dominant so far to this point in the race.
So right now, as they run under the caution flag for the second time, you still have Jesse Love, the race winner, or the race winner of stage number 1, I should say, as the leader. Austin Hill is second. Parker Kligerman, Anthony Alfredo, and Jeb Burton are the top 5. Sheldon Creed, John Hunter Nemechek, A.J. Allmendinger, Justin Allgaier, and Ryan Truex are the top 10. Now, we saw right at the end of stage 1, right before we had that last lap dash to close out the first stage, a lot of drivers decided to come down and pit. The drivers that did not were able to keep their track position, and most of them are still inside of the top 10. So odds are that those drivers that did not pit before the end of the stage are more than likely going to pit now as soon as pit road is open, which, just as I say that, pit road becomes open.
Also on this end of pit road, Steve Post.
Parker Retzlaff brings his car in, going to be 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Jesse Love, the race leader, has that very first pit box by virtue of winning the pole position. Going to be 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Parker Kligerman going to be first out on this one. Chandler Smith going to be second. The rest of the field rolls off here. So 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel for those who pitted here, Jason.
Jed Burton carrying the Golden Corral colors tonight. 4 tires, Sunoco Fuel for him. Sammy Smith was in. Little chassis adjustment. Sheldon Creed also making a stop, making an air pressure adjustment for him. Same thing for Austin Hill. Also, we saw Anthony Alfredo making a stop here at lap number 33.
And that is that script flip that Postman was talking about. All of those that pitted on lap 26 stayed out.
So pit stops complete of the drivers that pitted. Parker Kligerman was the first off pit road, as you saw there on NASCAR TV. We'll reset the running order for you in a few moments. Let's check in with Thomas Lanahan. He has got the toy that is going to be awarded to a very special father and son down there in the Hard Rock Bet fan zone. This special Lego NASCAR edition is going to go to Skyler, who is the dad, and Grayson, who is the son. So a father and son enjoying themselves here at the Daytona International Speedway. Very, very cool prize for both Grayson, the son, and Skyler. So certainly we'll always enjoy putting that together. Of course, if you want to
Daytona. We're ready to turn them loose one more time here in stage number 2.
with a big old shove from Riley. Herbst will take the lead in that outside lane. For the moment, he'll stay up there, leave the bottom open. Back through the door comes Justin Allgaier.
He will poke a nose to the inside out of 2. Here he comes up the back straightaway, down to the inside. He's got some drafting help as well. Matter of fact, it's enough to propel Justin Allgaier to the lead in turn 3.
That propelling driver from behind was Cole Custer, who comes with Allgaier in the bottom. There's 2 in the line for
drifts high to take a peek on Justin Allgaier. Allgaier throws the block. They're going to ride the outside lane for now.
Into turn number 1, they will take the high groove now. Allgaier with Cole Custer in tow. Perkins down on the bottom. Oh, Custer's going to bust a move up the middle. Cole Custer slides under Justin Allgaier, but can't get him cleared in 2.
He cannot get away. They are 3 wide for the lead. Blaine Perkins on the bottom now, and there's...
Oh, shit.
Around they go. Allgaier, make that Allmendinger. Austin Hill, John Hunter Nemechek. You also got Jeremy Clements trying to roll it down. Jesse Love's got damage. Anthony Alfredo's got damage. Everybody now scattering to avoid a half dozen race cars who come spinning out of the middle of the pack halfway down the back straightaway.
SVG was in it. SVG and Parker were in it.
Halfway down the back straightaway.
Scene, but you got about a half a dozen cars that had damage in one form or fashion.
Jesse Love and then Ray Walsh. As he brings his car down the pit lane, it's beat up. It's a kind of steep post.
Yes, indeed. A lot of damage to the right front. They're taking the wheel off from the right front, and they're just actually using one of the drills or one of the tire changing guns to beat up on everything else in balance and some saws to work on the right front of that. Right rear damage is what Jesse Love seems to hold the wheel of the race car patiently waiting. But a fair amount of damage on that automobile as they work on it down here on this end of pit road.
Down the back straightaway they go, and John Hunter Nemechek into the back of Jesse Love, turned Jesse into the outside retaining wall. Before he could get there, he got into the side of AJ Allmendinger, and Alex, it was on from there. So put him under caution, lap 37.
Yeah, that's part of it, as caution is out, and John Hunter Nemechek's car is right down there on the pit lane as it's getting service right now.
And John Hunter Nemechek's Toyota didn't look too bad. They are spending some time on the left front. They've got some mallets that they're pulling out the fenders, doing some work on that left front. Parker Kligerman got the worst wear on the right side as well as on the hood. Right now, they're jumping on the hood to win here.
John Hunter Nemechek, and that list may continue to grow. So an unfortunate deal, especially if you're, Richard Childress Racing. You just wiped out 2 very, very fast Chevrolet Camaros.
Yeah, you did, but again, we mentioned it coming into those drivers who opted to stay on the racetrack after coming to pit road all the way back on lap 26. Well, they were out in front of this for the better part of it. All those other drivers that came to pit road back on lap 33 and 34, they were right in the thick of things.
It would appear as though Austin Hill is looking pretty good. Now, let's confirm that one way or another. Jason Toy has been monitoring Austin Hill.
Well, he just brought the car in, had a little bit of a wrinkle. The grass, a little agricultural racing there for Austin Hill, so everything looks good for him. Says the car and the wheel is straight, so they were able to pull out Sammy Smith. work on that Chevrolet to get it back to what they need to get back out racing. And speaking of the crew, part of the crew here for Junior Motorsports just came off the Victory Lane stage with William Byron winning the Daytona 500. So Willie B's crew helping them out here a little bit with Sammy Smith.
That's what's going on down there. A lot of beat up race cars, but looks like most all are going to be able to continue on.
So under caution for now the third time in the United Rentals 300. I count at least 9 cars were involved in this accident. There may be more. We're still trying to tally up exactly how many drivers were involved in this. Of course, drivers like Jesse Love.
To stay out and try to get those stage points. Well, when they did that, it forced them a little bit deeper in the pack. He found himself 3 wide in the middle, 4 or 5 rows back, and they got turned to the outside wall. Both the RCR cars were involved in the incident. Austin Hill, you ride on board with now, brings it down to the attention of the crew. Right front damage for him. He is sliding down on the wall. So the crew is going to work now on the right front corner of this number 21 machine, is trying to get this car put back together, and that way they can get it back onto the track. Now what they're doing is they're jacking the car up and down the right front corner on the 21. You see more work being done on Jesse Love's car, but boy, they can patch it together, but that car is not going to have a lot of speed left when it gets back out onto the track.
Jesse Love among several drivers involved in this crash on the back straightaway. They all seemed to get started when John Hunter Nemechek tried to push one of the cars forward, and it touched off this accident on the backstretch.
So you see the work being done here to the 2-car for Jesse Love. Parker Kligerman, now his crew completes work, and they send him back out onto the racetrack as we work the caution here in stage 2. So work continues down here along pit lane. Other cars down on pit road. The 5 of Anthony Alfredo, he is on the pit lane as well, getting work done. The 10, Daniel Dye, who was inside the top 5 not all that long ago on pit road. Work being done there. This incident midway through the pack. Happened about 4 or 5 rows back. Jesse Love getting contact, pushed into the outside wall. Josh Williams in the 11 on pit road as well for Pauly Racing, a teammate. Stack them back up to turn loose here at stage 2.
Field is in the middle of turn number 3 as we get ready to go racing again in stage number 2. When they hit the start-finish line, there will be just 18 laps left to go in the second stage. Justin Allround is the race.
The 31-degree banking. The battle will be for second. Cole Custer to the inside on Riley Herbst. Custer's got the advantage and the drafting help. He'll go to second place.
Justin Allgaier got out way too far. He is getting ready to be gobbled up. And here comes Cole Custer. Custer to the outside. He'll catch Allgaier. Allgaier throws the block. Custer back to the bottom. Allgaier throws the block. Herbst to the outside. Custer
in every lane he could possibly imagine. He'll hold the high lane for now with Riley Herbst in tow. 3 wide for second on back.
Lane Perkins at the bottom of the racetrack. Going to get a little drafting help there. Up front, it's Custer and Herbst. They are 1 and 2, and it is a hornet's nest behind them. 3 wide for third at the end of the backstretch.
You've got Lane Perkins there on the bottom, Allgaier in the middle, and Sammy Smith in the high lane.
Can't get the block thrown in time. Allgaier to the low lane. Custer up high. That's the battle for the lead.
Side by side at a turn number 2. Allgaier's going to spin himself. He tried to slide up and get a side draft off of Custer. He'll spin to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll correct the car. Will not make contact, but Allgaier sliding up, trying to get the side draft. It went bad. He spun to the inside of the racetrack. He will right the car and continue on. One other car was collected at the back of the field.
Blocking has gotten very aggressive in the front of the field.
Yeah, I mean, he just shot up the racetrack from the very bottom. Left side tires on the double yellow lines, and he just moved up. I mean, and if you look at it this way, that's a 5-lane super highway, Mike Bagley. He's all the way in lane number 1, climbs the banking, goes all the way up to lane number 4. And the problem was Cole Custer had already filled that lane.
It looked like that it was a side track. Don't know if he had a problem, but it was a very bold move, whatever that was. And he just touched Cole Custer's left driver's side door enough. And when he came off that driver's side door, he spun it to the inside of the racetrack. Fortunately, nobody else was involved.
And they will continue on in the race, both Justin Allgaier and Garrett Smithley, as we want caution all the time.
There's a look at it on NASCAR TV from Cole Custer's vantage point. Justin Allgaier, who was on the